1, 2, 3.
Crawl space encapsulation is ultimately providing a solution that gives you environmental controls in your crawl space. So it's adding a plastic material, potentially dehumidifiers, a sump pump, and creates a system that takes a dark, musty, maybe wet crawl space environment and changes it into a bright, white, environmentally controlled environment. And so ultimately, depending on the size of your crawl space, depending on the barriers, the posts, the things that we have to work around within that crawl space environment, how much room we have to work with, can kind of vary in terms of the days of the repairs. But most crawl spaces can be done within a day, 2, maybe 3. That we've seen some crawl spaces that are, over 5,000 square feet, and those can maybe get into a 4-day, type of job. But ultimately, the general size, say 1,500, 2,000 square foot home that sits on a crawl space can be done in 2 days, plus or minus, depending on the variables. But with crawl spaces, you ultimately need to look at the variables that are in place. If you have a lot of posts, or if you have some junk under homes, we've seen a lot of building material that ultimately have to kind of come out. But given the variables that we ultimately have to work around, can be somewhat of a deterrent in terms of time, but ultimately 1 or 2 days for a crawl space encapsulation. And in the end, you get a nice, clean, environmentally controlled solution that provides a healthy environment for homeowners, and ultimately it's an asset for you if you access your crawl space, and any potential buyers down the road. If you happen to sell, there's a nice, clean, controlled environment that they can appreciate and ultimately help you with the sale of the home.